You can have these big goals and they can be smart goals. They can be broken down to the daily. But if they're not important to you, they're not going to matter. It's kind of like your old saying, like, "Oh, I should do this." Well, shoulds are shit, all right?
Shoulds are shit.
Like, you shouldn't do anything because it's not important to you. And if you have this goal, but it's not actually important to you, like truly important to you, you're never going to accomplish it. In this episode, Courtney and I are going to be discussing what a goal is not and how to set yourself up for success in 2023. With that being said, let's start the show. Hey, welcome to the Insurance Buzz. We are your host, Michael and Courtney Weaver.
Hey.
Hey, what's
Hi.
up? So, look, what's on your mind today?
Okay, so heavy sigh because we're at the beginning of the year and we just did reviews not only like in our own organization, but we've been having a lot of coaching calls about setting their yearly goals. And they don't know what goals actually are, like how to set a goal. And it's one of those things where I'm looking at this going, you're never going to achieve this because this isn't actually a goal. You're going to feel defeated in like 2 days because this is not, you haven't set yourself up for success. It's blowing my mind. And it's also making me like, who else is going through this thinking that they're a failure? Because I've been in that spot thinking that I'm a failure when I just didn't have the structure and I didn't know what the hell I was doing, how to set a goal. So I want to talk about that.
Yeah, no, and and them not being specific on their goals, and that's what we're going to talk about today, is how to actually set a goal to set yourself up for success and being able to achieve that goal. But I don't know about you, it made me feel like a failure as a leader because
Oh, hell yes.
I feel like we do as good as we know how to do and try to set our team up for success. And then when we have our year-end planning and we're like, okay, so bring your 3 most important personal goals, your 3 most professional goals. And when they bring it to the table, there's no way they're hitting their goals because they're not specific. They're not measurable. They're not attainable. They're not realistic.
Yeah.
There's no time frame on them. And that's what we're talking about today.
Yeah. Yeah, I was in the same boat.
I didn't know that's what we were talking about today, but that's what we're talking about today.
I like this style. If you like this style and you're listening to this, shoot us a message. We're going to, if you enjoy it, we want to start doing more of this because as married business partners, there's a lot that comes up. But yeah, I mean, we're sitting in, and this is not just our team. This is also people that we're coaching, you know, as leaders in our organization and also as coaches and trainers. It's like, did I drop the ball on explaining this? And then what story have you created not hitting your goals?
Well, I even find myself doing this sometimes on a daily, weekly basis. Like I have my daily goals, I have my weekly goals, expectations. I say I'm going to do this, but I don't. And I'm usually pretty good at being like, all right, I'm going to do 3 of this, but I don't give myself, I'll just do it by the end of the day. Well, what happens when I tell myself I just put it off. Whereas if I was like, I'm going to do these 3 things by 10 a.m. in the morning, that is setting yourself up for success.
Yeah, but is that a task or is that a goal?
Is it a task or is it a goal?
I would say that's a task. I would say a goal is like the big shiny ball that you're working towards. And I would say a task is what you're doing every
achieve the big shiny.
Yeah, and I think that's another thing where our wires get a little crossed and we start going, oh, I fucking suck, man. Oh, I dropped the ball again in this category. And it's like, no, dude, you just don't have the roadmap. Like you're trying to drive to California with directions that are taking you to Florida. Like that's the only thing. So let's break this down.
Let's do it.
Okay. So let's start with things that are not goals. I think that's probably an easier place to start. So one of the things that I've heard and you listening, maybe kind of, if you have your goals, just reflect on them. If there are words like more, less. If there's no like concrete edge around that, that's not a goal because you can't measure that. So I remember,
I want to write more life insurance.
yeah, or like
what the hell does more life insurance look like?
right. If I can continue to ask more questions about what does that mean, what does that look like, it's not a goal yet.
I want to make more money.
Yeah.
I want to read more books.
Yes.
Well, how many books exactly do you want to read?
Mm-hmm.
Life insurance. How many policies exactly do you want to write?
Yeah.
How much premium do you, and then we'll get into that here in a minute, but it's just not your big audacious goal. It's then what do you want to do on a weekly basis?
Yeah. And I think that's where we can kind of start like breaking it down into the tasks. And for me, my health has always been a big goal of mine. And
so you want to work out more?
Well, yeah, I want to feel better in my skin, or yeah, I want to work out more, or I want to eat less of this, and it was always kind of fluid. And I would beat myself up because there was never a concrete, this is how I know I have gotten there. And I think that's the big thing with a goal is like, if I say I want to work out more, I can't measure that. So in my mind, I'm always going to be coming up short to more because I haven't said I want to work out 3 days this week, or I want to work out, 100 days in the year. If I don't have something concrete, I never get there. So the target completely moves and it's fluid and there's no like crossing that off in my mind.
So let's talk about a goal right now that you have set for 2023.
A goal that I have set.
Yep. What's a goal?
2023.
Let's just work through this.
So for me, a lot of it obviously is health. And so I want to work out 5 days a week.
Why is 5 days a week important to you?
5 days a week is important to me because it's part of my daily habit. So I know that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I can get that done. And
ooh.
Yeah.
What you just clarified even what 5 days you're working out.
Ooh. Boss status.
So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah.
Now my question is, what workouts are you doing those 5 days? Like, and I'm not talking about, I'm going to do curls this day, bench press, and maybe I would encourage, if you're a gym rat, you got to be that specific. I got to know what workouts. But for you, like, you're doing yoga, I believe, right?
The yoga. Yeah. So
yoga.
that's an easy question to answer. Because I have to have something that can be tracked. And I think that's been part of my success with my goals. So I do the Peloton app, and it doesn't matter what I do. Like, I can literally do anything on the Peloton app. So the Peloton. So ride my bike, do a yoga workout, do a stretching, do a strength training. That's something easy, and it gives me a visual. Like, I looked at it actually this morning when I was working out, and I could see that's where the 5 days came from. I could start to track from January 1st. I'm working out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because those are my work days. And so it's just become part of my routine. Now, if I work out extra, cool, great, bonus on the weekends. Or if I do 2 workouts in a day, that's also cool. But my baseline that I have set, to answer your question, is 5 days. I like the weekdays, and it just has to be the Peloton app. And it doesn't have to be for any, where I used to get like super fucked up in my head. And as somebody who struggled with an eating disorder for over a decade, a lot of rules came into play about my body, and I had to do a certain amount of time.
Like what? Like, what do you mean when you say like a lot of
rules were a certain amount of time. Like, a workout didn't count if it wasn't a certain amount of time. And what I've learned is, if I'm trying to build a habit, the biggest part of that habit is just taking action towards it. So if I say I want to work out 5 days a week and my workout is only 10 minutes, I still got a workout in. I still move my body. I still check the box. So I don't get as like focused on what specifically I'm doing and for how long I'm doing it, because it can send me, and that's just me because I know what I have mentally gone through. I know where my cues are. So I think for a goal, I'm kind of going off in the weeds here a little bit, but it's also knowing what sets me up for success and what can send me down negative self-talk really quickly. So that's why I keep it concrete, but I don't have as much structure or rigidity. Is that a word?
I don't know. I'm not the word guy.
But I'm not.
Do I look like a dictionary? I don't know, man.
I'm the English major and I just made up a fucking word. Great. I just don't have as much.
You're asking me if I don't know, man.
Is that a word? Is that Googleable? Rigidity?
I'm not the guy that uses big words.
Oh God.
All right, let's break this down though.
Yeah. So that's to answer that question.
Because we're both
roundabout way.
We're both SMART goal. Like we love SMART goals.
Yeah.
So let's break this down. So you want to work out 5 days a week.
Yeah.
That's pretty specific.
Yes.
Also, you want to use the Peloton app.
Peloton.
Peloton.
Still waiting for my
I'm
sponsorship.
jacking with you. All right. So the Peloton app.
Yeah.
So it's specific. 5 days a week. And as long as you move your body, you could work out. You could do a yoga stretch. That's 5 minutes long. You could ride the Peloton and do a cycle. I don't know what it's called.
It's a ride.
All right, a ride for 30 minutes. That's a workout. Yes. Okay. So doesn't really matter as long as you're logging into the Peloton app 5 days a week and moving your body. That's a workout every single day.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's specific. It's measurable because you know whether you work out 5 days or you don't do 5 days. Now, my question for you is if you did 2 workouts on a Thursday, does that count as your 5 workouts? No.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So you've been very measurable as far as I have to do some type of body movement 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Specific, measurable. Now, is it attainable? Well, we get 7 days a week. You're every day. I mean, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that rolls around every week of every month, right?
Yep.
So it's attainable.
Mm-hmm.
Is it realistic?
Yeah. This is where I didn't say it has to be a 30-minute CrossFit workout or it doesn't have to be I made it realistic. Yeah. Like realistically, I have 10 minutes. I have 15 minutes. I could. Yep.
Now I want to get to the time. Are you setting up a certain time of the day that you work out every single day? Or is it just maybe some days it's at 7 o'clock in the morning, maybe if it's at 5, maybe you have a busy morning and you do it at 7 o'clock at night? Like, is there a certain time of the day that you're setting yourself up, or as long as you get it in, it counts?
So I would love to say as long as I get it in, it counts. And I could say that, but no, I have to do it in the morning. I am somebody that the day will start to stack on me. And by 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, if I haven't done that, then I'm definitely it's not going to happen. No. And on the flip side of that, putting it in my morning routine. So it's just become something now where, again, I'm a lazy person by nature. Like, I am always trying to find the path of least resistance.
Hey, now, like, let's not.
No. Like, I'm a very hardworking, but I am a lazy person. I like comfort.
I think all of us as humans like that. Like,
So I'm not
you're
gonna.
You're not. Look, I'm the first person. I'll call your ass out. Like, you're not lazy. Like.
No. But that's my default. I'm not going to dance around that.
Yeah, we don't have to do the hard shit. Right. We're not going to do the hard shit.
Right. So if you're listening to this thinking, oh God, like, this is why I set this up, is I want things to be habitual. I want a habit, because the more easy I can make it, the more of a default switch I can make it. I don't think about it. I don't go, oh God, this fucking sucks. I got to get this workout in. It's just, it becomes part of my routine. So the time it's the first thing I do in the morning, every single day.
Yeah. And I want to dive into this just for a second.
Okay. Oh,
lazy?
God. You're going to coach me here. All right. I shouldn't have said lazy. Let's not say lazy.
It's not disciplined. You're not disciplined if you don't do it at a certain time of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. I start to make excuses. Absolutely. And I know I'm not alone there. I know there are a lot of people listening who are like, yeah, I'm going to make excuses too, because the day's long. I'm tired. This has happened. I can do it tomorrow. I can just do 2 tomorrow. That's why I've set that up too, is, I don't want too many rules because I don't want to put myself in that mindset, but I also need enough structure to have some like, okay, this is the rules of the game. So,
which SMART goals, that's the name of the game.
Yeah.
Like, that's how you set yourself up for success. So I love that you're doing this. Like, you know, this is what I want to do. I got to do it by this time every single day or it's not going to get done. And that's what you do.
Yeah. And I think for me, it's also about keeping integrity and not breaking that habit. So now I'm stacking these things on top of each other of this is the first thing that I do in the morning. It can be, and I give myself some flexibility. Again, it can be whatever. That way you can't use the excuse of, well, I don't feel like doing that. It's like, well, great. If you don't feel like doing that, you have 20,000 other things that you can do. So pick something else as long as it's in that same wheelhouse, because if my ultimate goal is health and to make health a habit and a top priority, I have to get very specific on like, what does health even look like to me? Right? So we're talking about the day to day, but if I'm looking at, okay, health's a goal, these are what I'm going to do every single day. The why behind why I want to do it is I want to live as long as possible for our future children, our future grandchildren. I want my health, my body, and my mind. I don't want either one of them to shut down before the other. So that's my ultimate goal with my health so I'm looking at it from that perspective. So I think building the habit is about, even if something were to happen with my memory or anything like that, I still have that kind of concrete foundational principle of health is how I start my day. I kind of went off on in the weeds a little bit.
No, I love it. The most important thing I think that we are discussing today is you got to set yourself up to win. And you got to know, again, so specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time frame.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the thing that I love about what you're saying is look, I'm going to work out 5 days a week. And those 5 days are going to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what workouts I do. All I know is I'm going to log on to the Peloton app and I'm going to move my body.
Yeah.
One day could be cycling. Maybe all 5 days in a row are cycling, or maybe all 5 days in a row are yoga, or maybe 5 days in a row are stretching. I don't know what's on the Peloton app. All right. I don't really do the Peloton app except for when I do.
You got to get on board, man.
I do yoga with you. All right. I'm proud of myself. I'm doing yoga a couple,
I love the
like 2 to 3 times.
I do yoga.
You know, I'm not a yogi yet, but I'm doing yoga plus my 12-minute workouts.
Yoga.
Like, you know, but I love how you've got it broken down into what a win looks like for you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And that's really, really important. And you're being specific with it. It's measurable. Again, it's attainable. It's realistic. And you've done a time frame. And so can I relate this back to the insurance?
Oh, hell yes. So
I did an episode by myself. It was how to calculate like the rule of 78 in life insurance. So 78,000 a year.
Yeah.
So many people. All right.
I'll drop that podcast episode,
including myself back in the day. All right. When I was a newer agent, I was like, I want to hit this big goal. I want to hit this huge goal. I want to hit 78,000 or 100,000. I'm just in this example, I'm going to say 78,000. And that was really my goal my first year as an agent. Like, I want to hit 78,000 in life insurance premium. But what I failed to do was, well, what do I got to do on a monthly basis? What do I got to do on a weekly basis? And I was just like, we just got to make it happen. Like, no matter what, we're going to write $78,000 a year in life premium, which is a hell of a year. Mm-hmm. But I was setting myself up for failure because I didn't know what myself or the team needed to do on a weekly basis, monthly basis even. I was just like, well, we're going to get it done. I'll hit some whales. I'll hit a big policy. Like, we'll make this happen. Great. Okay, hope is not a strategy. All right. And so I'd like to go ahead and just tackle this. So if I'm an insurance professional and I want to write $78,000 in life insurance premium a year, what does that mean I have to do on a monthly basis? That means I have to do $1,000 a month in paid life insurance premium, because that would equate to $12,000 over the year. So if you're in January, this is where the rule of 78 comes into play. If you've never heard of the rule of 78, it's where you're going to add up January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. All right, so 12,000, 11,000, 10,000, 9,000, and yada, yada, yada. All right, you're getting the point here. So what does that mean? Because 78,000 is a huge, that's a big, scary number. All right, whereas if you break it down, now you're like, and even the team, $1,000 in paid life insurance premium, we can do that. But what does that mean on a weekly basis? $250. Oh, we're getting a little better now. So all we have to do, or all I have to do as an individual, is write $250 a month, or I'm sorry, a week in paid life insurance premium. That's a lot more attainable now. It's way more achievable. It's specific. So then you could even break it down to a daily if you wanted. So you know, as an individual, if your average policy is $50 a month paid, that means you'd have to write 5 policies a week. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you average $100 a month per paid life policy, now you're doing 2.5. So let's just round up to 3. Let's kick that goal's ass. 3 a week. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So the biggest thing with SMART goals is not only having your big specific, well, I want to write $78,000. Look, that's specific, it's measurable, it's attainable, it's realistic. You've got a time frame on it. But if you don't break it down to a weekly, daily, like goal, all right, which you would call task, but goal,
No.
activity.
I'll break down what I consider a task out of that.
Yeah, all right. Go ahead.
Well, if you're saying that I want to write $250 in life insurance premium a week,
Mm-hmm.
then the tasks would be, what do I have to do to get there? The goal is the outcome. The tasks are the activities.
Amen.
Yeah.
There we go. So yeah, so I love that. So that's the biggest thing here. Like you've been crushing your workout goals
I've been
this
fucking
year.
crushing it,
Been
man.
crushing it.
I have.
2023, bam, crush.
Yeah, we have to. We're setting ourselves up. We want to have a family at some point. Like, your girl. And I think that's another big part of these goals is you have to have a strong enough why on why you actually want to do it. Or, I mean, your brain, I know, again, I'm going to speak to my brain. She's good. Like, she will give me all of the reasons, like, no, girl, you're good. Like, let's not do that. No, it's fine. It'll be fine. Like, she's good. She's the best salesperson in the world. So if I'm not anchored into my why on why I actually want to do this, it's going to be the first thing to go. So I think that's part of setting yourself up for success. If you say you want to hit this X amount in life insurance, why? Like, that would be my first question to you. So after you've made it a SMART goal, the next question I'm going to ask you is, why do you want to do this? Because if that's not strong enough, you've got to find something else.
Yeah, because if it's not, it's cool to say big ass goals. Like it's cool to say I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to read 52 books next year. Why the hell you want to read 52 books next year? Mm-hmm. Well, because why? Why is it important? What's it going to do for you? What's it going to do for your family? What's in it for you? Like, mm-hmm. Is it actually important to you, or are you just saying some cool ass goals to sound cool as shit? Like, is it actually important to you?
Well, and I think you can break down that a little bit further too, because if you figure out your true intention, so let's say you do say you want to read 52 books a year, and you're just saying that because it sounds cool, and it does sound really cool. Trust me, I'm like, damn, that's awesome. But if your actual true intention is you want to skill up in a certain category, then you start looking at, is that the goal then? Is that actually the best use of your time? Because then it might be something else. Instead of reading 52 books a year, you might need to hire a coach and skill up that route. So I think that with a goal, and again, I love doing this because there's so many things that go into this. And I think if your business and your life doesn't look the way you want it to, it might just be because you haven't given yourself the opportunity to win.
Well, and we're talking about goals right now. We're kind of going off on something else, but I think it's just as relevant. Like, goals are a must. They have to be SMART goals. Okay. They have to be specific, all that good stuff. But you're hitting the nail on the head. Like, You can have these big goals, and they can be SMART goals. They can be broken down to the daily. But if they're not important to you, they're not going to matter. It's kind of like your old saying, like, "Oh, I should do this." Well, shoulds are shit, all right?
Shoulds are shit.
Like, you shouldn't do anything because it's not important to you. And if you have this goal, but it's not actually important to you, like truly important to you, you're never going to accomplish it. You are setting yourself up for failure.
I like it. I like the accent.
Failure from the very start.
Okay.
Just like if working out wasn't important to you. Mm-hmm. And that's happened to all of us. That's happened to me, man. Like, I don't know about anybody else. Maybe everybody else is just amazing, but I'm going to work out every single day, 6 days a week for the year. By March, I'm like, sitting on the couch eating Oreos, watching freaking movies, like, not working out today. So it's got to be important to you.
Well, I know it's important to you because you work out every single day. So you've already built that. Yeah.
5 days a week.
You just flexed. So if somebody's listening to this right now.
I can't live to 140 if I'm on the couch eating Oreos, drinking Coca-Cola, watching movies all day long.
First of all, they would be gluten-free, all right? You already know that shit.
True.
And second of all, if it's Coke Zero. But you're right.
You get the point here. There's no way
140.
140. I mean, I have a big goal of it's important to me.
I know. You if you're listening right now, Michael wants to live to be 140, so we're going to have to move to one of the blue zones to make that happen.
if you've never heard about Blue Zone, do yourself a favor and Google that shit right now.
Oh
GTS, Google that shit.
It's insane. Yeah, look up a Blue Zone. So if somebody's listening to this right now and they're like, "That's great, your jokes are funny," but how do I actually?
You're welcome.
How do I actually implement this? Like, what would that look like in creating a goal to really set our listeners up for success for 2023?
Yeah. So you set your big goal. I always like the 12 months. All right. That's where I start my goals, annual goals. And then you're going to break it down to quarterly. Okay. So let's say you wanted to lose 20 pounds in a year. There's 4 quarters. So you're going to take 20 divided by 4. Okay, so that's going to be 5 pounds a quarter. Then you're going to break it down into monthly. So there's 3 months that go into a quarter. 5 divided by 3 is 2.
We'll say 2.
2, yeah, 2 and a quarter. Or 2, okay, whatever. 2. So 2, you need to lose 2 pounds a month. Does this make sense so far? Mm-hmm. So that's a half a pound a week.
It's a lot of math.
Yeah, you're putting me on the spot here.
I know.
So
you're crushing it.
A half a pound a week. So what are you going to have to do to lose a half a pound a week? All right. So what do you have to do daily to lose a half a pound a week? Well, you're probably going to have to eat certain foods. So you're probably going to have to meal prep for 3 meals a day, eating certain foods. You're probably going to have to do a 30-minute workout a day, or maybe like myself, maybe it's a 12-minute workout a day, whatever. But
this is where I'm going to jump in and say this is where you get to create your plan that sets you up for success. But you have
did that answer your question though?
Yes. Yeah. You have to start with a goal, a SMART. Your big goal that you start with for the year has to be a SMART goal, or you cannot move forward.
And 20 pounds a year it's specific,
yep.
It's measurable, it's attainable, it's realistic, and there's a time frame on
yep.
it. And then you use that smart analogy and break it all the way down to the weekly. Work backwards. And then every single week, when you lose a half a pound, you better be celebrating. Ooh, that's the one thing that always gets forgotten about. We don't celebrate the little wins.
Yeah.
Celebrate the little wins, because when you stack dubs, man, that builds confidence. And when you start stacking dubs, you start winning more. All right? So that's what I got for you today, Courtney.
Thank you. That was good.
My friends, if you have comments, text us right now about this. We would love to know your goals for 2023 and how you're going to achieve those goals. And I'll even add another one in. Why it's important to you.
Ooh.
Text that to us. 816-727-7610. Don't be shy. Text us right now. What is your goal? How are you going to achieve it? And why is it important to you? Is that all you got for today?
That's all I have.
All right, my friends. As always, time is the most valuable and important asset that we all have. We appreciate you spending time with us today. Go out, make it great.